Want a free haircut? Go to this link down below for more info. Alright YouTube, this is how my client looks today. This was my client's back of his neck 1 year ago. So as you can see, it drastically improved. Just stay tuned and watch the video. And I'm going to share with you what he did to improve the back of his neck. So we're going to start this process by just cutting down his hair. I got my 2-guard on. I'm using my Mythics. And I'm going with the grain. As you can see, I'm just going with his wave pattern. Some spots do cut patchy, so just be careful. He has a cowlick in the front of his hairline, so we're going to attack that head on. Now, in regards to the bumps of the back of the neck, a lot of clients that I have that do have them they can be embarrassed by them. Now, this client isn't. He's very confident. And I always tell them it's not something you should be embarrassed of because it's kind of out of your hands. I understand why people are embarrassed. I mean, I probably might feel embarrassed at first if I had them, but it's out of your hands. A lot of times you get them from going to an inexperienced barber who either uses dirty clippers on you or cuts your hair too close to the skin in areas where you just can't go that low. It's out of your hands. We're starting our taper process. We're gonna give him like a mid taper. He used to get a low taper, but I told him let's do a mid taper. Mid tapers last longer. They are a bit harder because you got to kind of preserve that C-cup without taking it up too high. So you notice I'm using the corner of my clipper right there because I ain't trying to go up too high and then make it a high taper. Nah, that ain't gonna look good. So just be careful. Use the corner of your guards. Right now I'm just detailing it, making sure it's to the best of my ability before moving on. And we're gonna quickly fade in his beard. So I like taking down the area around the ear before I shape it up. And since he's still recovering from the bumps on the back of his neck, we're still gonna give him a round back. So the video a year ago, we were trying to work with the fade, but it just wasn't working. It made the bumps look worse. It's not that the bumps got worse, but you could just see the bumps clearly when you give them a fade. So if you look at the back of his neck, the bumps aren't even there anymore. It's a little red still, but it healed very nicely. I'm going to be showing you guys the product he showed me that he was prescribed by a dermatologist at the end, so stay tuned. I'm going to put some foam in his hair. What this foam does, look at his waves right now. You notice how they're kind of like spiky? They're rising up a little bit. This is going to lay him down flat while still, looking nice and wavy. And it's going to make it look shiny and silky too. So how I do it, I brush it in. I kind of wipe the excess off. Right? Blow dry it. Then I put on the do-rag, right? I tie it real tight. And then I apply heat, and then I just do the beard. You gotta let it marinate, right? So we're gonna take his beard down. He told me he wanted it really low. I believe this is my 3-guard. And I'm going against the grain. I did like the length on his beard, but he works in a very professional environment, so he told me he doesn't really like looking scruffy. He likes that clean, short look on the beard. So we're making it contoured to his jawline. We're doing the other side right now. For his mustache, I just took it down with like a 1 open with the grain, and we're just shaping it up, making it connect right to the beard. We're not going to disconnect it. And then when you take it down that much, you kind of get all those loose hairs. You just want to freehand it. So I'm going to put some hairspray, blow dry his lineup, and then we're just going to start the shape up. So with the cowlick, notice how the hair isn't cutting as I go. Kind of have to drag my clipper back up because the hair grows in different directions in there and near that cowlick.
Yo, John, this be fire.
So for the C-cup, I don't like to push it back too much. I like to make sure it's nice and crispy. This side, we're just following that line all the way through to the other side. He has a fairly easy hairline. This part is a little tricky because his hair kind of grows all different directions on this side of the C-cup. Now we're going to add enhancements. Holding our card very still. That part's actually pretty difficult to me. I have trouble keeping my hands still doing that part. So we're going to freehand trim the top. As you can see, that thing looking crispy. And no razor today. My client has pretty sensitive skin, so we're just gonna round the back. This is the product that my client was prescribed by his dermatologist. So if you have bumps on the back of your neck, you need to go to a dermatologist. A barber isn't really gonna know what to do. I always redirect my clients to that area because you're dealing with the skin and the scalp. So notice how I'm using the shaver, but I'm going with the grain, right? That's how my client came in. And this is how he's leaving. Crispy. I'm gonna catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.